Starting off with a motion comic, something we've never done before, was kind of interesting because we didn't have a process. We didn't have any past precedent on how to do it.
I wish I could do something more.
Then wish me luck.
I'm Veronica. I was the producer on the Halo Waypoint motion comics, The Return and Midnight in the Heart of Midlothian. Working on Midlothian, the main thing was just to make sure we communicate the creative vision and just creating an environment where Juan can feel like he can interpret it and Frank can feel like his vision is fairly and accurately represented, and just making sure that they're always on the same page.
Security clearance robot. Passcode. Asimov.
I'm Frank O'Connor. I'm Franchise Development Director for 343 Industries, and I handle a lot of the fiction and ancillary stuff that we do in the Halo universe, as well as much more direct involvement on our main projects. The reason we chose Midnight in the Heart of Midlothian as the first motion comic adaptation from Evolutions was really simple. It was the simplest story. It's actually very straightforward, only has one location. Secondly, it was my story, and I'm less likely to be precious and possessive. And we were definitely going down an experimental path with this one, and didn't want to risk one of the fancier or more elaborate stories on a first pass. And of course, everything worked out beautifully, so I think people were much more open to this after that first experiment.
My name's Kristofor Mel Roth. I'm an audio director here in Microsoft Game Studios. I work with a lot of internal and external teams, and one of the roles that I play with the Waypoint team is I'm the audio supervisor for a lot of the Saturday night content. I was the audio supervisor for both Midnight in the Heart of Midlothian and for The Return. We took very different paths for each one. The first one we produced internally. To convey the feeling of Midlothian, when you read the script, it becomes very apparent. It's a tension-filled piece with a tough guy and sort of a cynical sidekick.
Perhaps you're just a throwback, Baird. It would explain that Cro-Magnon brow of yours.
Moye was extremely difficult to cast. The character description for Moye is that she's an elderly Chinese woman with a smoker's cough and a coughing, like a sort of a raspy laugh. So when we cast Moye, we were looking for someone who could convey that sense of sarcasm and that sort of like edgy sense of humor that would really contrast nicely.
Baird, wait!
It's very clear that Baird is a strong, ODST.
Well, my high school nickname was Captain Caveman,
With incredible physical prowess and some bravado and a dark sense of humor.
Well, you stupid asshole. Think you can do it right this time?
Not unlike Frank himself.
One of our biggest creative challenges for The Return was Midlothian is so action-packed, right? You have this giant ODST who just kicks everyone's butt, and it's awesome to watch. But The Return is much more introspective. It's a really solemn story, and to keep that sort of creative punch going that our fans really love, and also staying true to the kind of reverence of the story was an interesting creative challenge. And Kevin's been really, really great, in letting Juan sort of chop up his story a little bit and interpret it.
There.
So my name's Kevin Grace. I am the managing editor for 343 Industries. It means I work on all the franchise stories, on the books and the novels and game stuff, and kind of everywhere there's Halo story going on, I'm playing with it. The Return is a story that I wrote for Halo Evolutions, the short story anthology we published towards the end of last year, and I was very lucky to have a chance to write a story as well as serve as the editor for the rest of the stories in there with other editors from Tor Books and other folks in the studio. But that was my first chance to really create my own kind of piece of the Halo universe and put something out there that hopefully fans have enjoyed.